What is up, guys? CJ the Autistic Barber here. My most important goal is to inspire others in the autism community and to those who support them. Welcome to the Barber Spectrum, where all barbershops are everywhere, including your own home. Think about it, people. Anyways, now I get to my fourth interview with my guy, Ryan. Let's see if he could be able to pull up right now. Yeah, my boy Alexis, what's up, bro? It's been a while. It's been a while. This whole quarantine thing is a bunch of bull crap, you know? There he is. There's my guy right here, Ryan. Waiting for you to connect, my friend. I'm ready for you. Let's see if I can. There. Hey,
Hey there,
what's up,
CJ.
Ryan? How you been, my friend?
Good. How's it going? Good, bro.
Real good, man.
Okay. So where
So,
do you want to
hi.
start?
Oh, well, that's a great question. So, I'm wondering if right now is how you dealing with this whole quarantine situation?
Well, I'm I'm just trying to keep it together, trying to still enjoy life here and there, you know.
Of course,
But
that's what's up.
hopefully this thing blows over soon.
Sure. I mean, God knows how long it's gonna take, but we're hanging in there, and we're trying to keep ourselves safe and healthy, and all that other stuff.
Okay.
So, we've been following each other for a long time, which I think is about over a year, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we even talked about about our experiences with autism and all that other stuff. I mean, tell to the people, what is your experience like with autism?
Well, even before I knew I was diagnosed, I always knew I was different from my peers. Like, always felt like the oddball. And I was always wondering, like, why I couldn't be accepted or why I couldn't fit in. It was really tough growing up. Like,
Yeah, I can imagine. Hmm.
did you have it tough growing up?
Well, I could say, more or less, pretty much. I mean, well, everybody had hard times. I mean, I can even imagine, like, yeah, some moments I do have real tough times. I mean, everyone's human, including ourselves, on the spectrum.
Yes. Also, what's your opinion on autism and empathy? And having a lack of empathy for us autistics, that isn't something we should be punished for. That is a challenge we're still working to overcome. Okay?
Of course, absolutely. I
Yeah, and
mean,
also, what were you gonna say?
go ahead.
And also, one of the hardest things to deal with having autism is not being able to pick up emotional cues right away, based on one's body language or facial expressions. I mean, there are some who would just ditch you and don't want to be around you for one stupid reason or another. If only they could just be more direct with how they're feeling, or tell if we're doing something that's bothering them or making them uncomfortable, instead of leaving us in the dark, then we can try to fix it. It's not getting the line. For example, it's like if like because of one stupid incident someone wants to end the friendship and you're like, I didn't mean it like that, but they just don't listen.
Of course. I mean, some people, don't understand us. They just don't have time for, about other people. They just, care about themselves. But there are some people that really care and, really wanted to help us out and, be accepted from one another.
Yes, like as with any other autistic person like ourselves, we still have significant challenges in our everyday lives that stand in the way of living a comfortable life, like succeeding in school or in the workplace.
Of course. To look at it this way, Ryan, is that, one of my goals is, like the both of us are trying to do is, wanting to, everyone who is out of the spectrum, or yeah, like, wanted them to understand, where we're actually coming from. I mean, like, we wanted them to understand, who we are as people. Like, it's not just us in a particular group. Like, we're both neurotypical. There are others who are in the middle of the spectrum and the severe part of the spectrum.
Hmm.
So, like, like, at the end of the day, we think that, we just wanted to be accepted, being treated as normal human beings like everybody else. And even though that we have flaws, so does everybody else. I mean, it's just that some people that don't really understand about life pretty much, but there are others that do, which is very fortunate in this whole planet.
Yeah, it's just not fair that the world keeps on telling us to improve, keeps on telling us to change, be more appropriate or whatever. Like our brains just work differently, and we need to not be discriminated against us. Like they think high functioning
Of course.
autistics, I don't like to say high functioning because category. They think we need to be more aware of certain things. But just because we can talk, say sentences verbally, and have verbal area, that doesn't change the fact that we're still on the spectrum. And sometimes it's hard for us to find the right words to express what we want to say. We might even trouble understanding what others are saying.
Yeah, of course. You see, anyways, we've been talking about this type of certain subjects and all that stuff, and seeing you as one of the one of the most, well, I mean, like I've heard of you, that you are also one of those these autism
Advocates.
advocates, exactly.
Hmm.
And you're trying to send a really good message, and you're doing that, and you're really making a difference, my friend.
Thanks.
So,
And also, there are always that they make all these stereotypes about us that we're stalkers, violent, or other things, even when we just want to be friends.
well,
Some
there
people
are a
just
few
don't
people
get,
that think that way.
yeah, some people just don't get what it's like to be autistic.
Right. That's pretty true. I mean, and of course, with some of us, we don't know what it's like to be, a certain human being. I mean, everyone's different, like I said,
Hmm.
regardless of all of us being human beings as first, but we have different
Yeah,
personalities.
yeah. Some force us to wear a mask, like to hide our autism. And some people know that you have to be a certain way in order to be accepted into society. And they force their way on others. I mean, that's not how it works. Not in a way that's healthy anyway. If you're really accepting to be someone's friend, you should try to accept and understand all aspects of that person.
Of course.
Yeah, we autistics shouldn't feel need to hide anything. Like we may look different or act different, but we still have feelings and emotions, just like anybody else. For example, I may get irritated when I get interrupted or when someone doesn't let me finish speaking, but that doesn't mean I don't care about people.
Facts. Facts.
And also, there's also one thing that bugs me most, a big fuss about personal space, one way or the other. And that doesn't necessarily mean that we're trying to hurt somebody. Like most autistics, like we don't always understand the rules of how far away to stand or when to stop talking or asking questions.
Right.
Yeah. Has anyone ever given you a hard time on based on your first impression? Because those are always hard. Because things like aggression, meltdowns, or hugging impulses, I have the tendency to hug people sometime, but still I can't help that. They view that as a sort of annoyance or disappointment, or in worse ways, to different degrees.
Well, there are some people that are like that pretty much, but I mean, well, you never know. I mean, like, like we all know certain individuals, but like I said, like there is everybody else that is different pretty much. I mean, well, some people are comfortable with some things, some people are not. I mean, that's a fact pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, there needs to be more tolerance. Like, have you ever, like, growing up, there were a few people who take advantage of me to be my friend. Like, and then they stab me in the back if I do something out of the ordinary. Like, and I've known a few autistics who've been stabbed in the back. Like, they got posted online, like on Snapchat or whatever, and they were made fun of and bullied to a big extent. Have you ever had an experience like that?
Hmm. Well, I have been taken advantage before, but well, at the same time, it wasn't real friendship going on there. It's just just hang out with some people, and then as soon as I know, I mean, I didn't even notice at the time before. I got the consequences. Talking with my teachers, my parents about it, and they told me that they've been using me the whole time instead of real friendship. So yeah, I kind of learned that the hard way. But that's
Yeah,
what that's
well,
what
I
kind
had
of
Yeah, even though I had friends growing up, they never made me feel like, one of them. Like I mostly saw everyone at school-related things like football games, homecoming, or plays, but never at any parties outside of school. I mean, to be fair, I couldn't drive till I was 18. But still, I just wanted to feel more than that, more than someone you see at school.
yeah. Well, I mean, I used to feel like that, but it's just everyone's gets to some opportunities earlier than they should, or the other way around, vice versa.
Mhm.
So
Yes, I know. It's just hard. And you ever get to tell you, sometimes people tell us to not react in a certain way. Yeah, even when you hear something you're not gonna like even if we have some control over our emotions, we still can't turn them off. So they can't expect us to not react all the time. You get what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah, of course. Let me ask you something,
Yeah,
Ryan. You
just
but just to tell you something, man. You're really doing good things, man, and I understand. You're venting of truthful stuff, that where you're coming from. Somehow at some point, it's gonna change. Well, but
yeah,
at this,
yeah, there's still a lot of work to be done in this world, CJ.
I believe you. I really believe you on that. But you're happy. You're happy the where you at right now, correct?
Well, not totally, because I still want to try to improve some and try to reach out to many more people to get my message out there. You mean, like to show people that we're not so bad. It's like you're trying to convince someone that you're not so bad, regardless of the mistakes you made in the past, but they still not convinced that because you made a bad first impression on them, you know. So that's one example. There's still a lot of work.
Hmm, I understand. Well, but hey, but what I really think of you, man, is like you're living life, and you're doing great for other people, man. I mean, think about it like that, man. Yeah, and you gotta be a little positive. Like me, for example, I'm being positive, even though that I have flaws and making mistakes here and there, but I accept the person the way I am. So
Yes.
should feel the
And
same.
And I accept myself where I am. But still, you get tired of trying to prove yourself to people when you just want to be yourself. I mean, no, even if us autistics aren't, as we say, I don't like to say this word a lot, normal, because I believe in there is no normal. You see, no one wants to feel that sense of unworthiness, and we don't need others to validate us if we already feel worthy and enough. But like some groups, they just expect you to be a certain way, you know, and that's tough.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of is tough, but like you just gotta hang in there, Ryan, and of course I'm gonna hang myself up there as well. So, hey, I was kind of curious about you're at this one meeting or some kind of building, like it's like you're at the U.S. Capitol Center or something like that.
Oh
Where
yeah,
is that?
it was Advocacy Day at the Georgia Capitol in Atlanta. I
Oh,
live near
okay.
there. Live
So
near
what
the
was
city.
what was happening there?
Well, we were all trying to meet our senators and stuff to advocate for fair treatment, or I guess for like ABAs or some education or and a few other subjects. I mean, so you see, I got to meet my senator
That's
and
good.
my representative, Mike Walensky.
That's nice. That sounds good.
I didn't get a selfie with them because they didn't have a lot of time. Plus, I need to respect that because it is a really busy day for everyone.
Of course. So I also wanted to discuss about like I remember those interviews that you had in the past, and I mean, what were those experiences like?
Are you talking about my job interviews or an interview on special books by special kids?
That second one. I mean, you had an interview with this guy, and it's pretty
Chris
much.
Ulmer.
Hmm?
Chris Ulmer. Yeah, it was a great opportunity to speak with Chris Ulmer. He's been doing this a long time. Like I was able to speak out my experience and my perspective. Like he knows how to look past people's flaws and accept them for who they are. And he even interviewed someone with borderline personality disorder.
Yeah,
He interviewed all kinds of people with different abilities. He travels all around the world. Although he is hard to get a hold of since he travels around a lot, but he's not doing that lately because of this pandemic.
of course.
Yeah, still, he's a really great person.
Yeah, I can see that he is, very, very kind person. He accepts it seems to me like he accepts everyone the way they are. Even you.
Hmm. Yeah, he does. And still, like, hey, and CJ, something else I wanted to ask. Have you ever encountered people telling you that you don't look autistic?
Well, almost all the time. like like all the clients that came into the shop and I told them I have autism and they said, "Oh, really? You know, I mean, it happens a lot to me,
Yeah.
like,
Whenever people ask me that, I feel like I have to think and respond to them, well, how the heck am I supposed to look then?
hmm,
Yeah, people making assumptions about you without knowing the extent of your struggles, it's just frustrating because having an invisible disability, people expect you to be, normal or act in a way that doesn't feel natural. And they don't cut you any slack when you make mistakes and have high expectations of you based on your age and your height, you know.
well, okay. I mean, I see where you're coming from with that,
Yeah, some
right?
people are more sympathetic when they see physical symptoms of a disability, like if someone's in a wheelchair or if someone has a facial deformity. This is why it's important to educate others. But still, CJ, it's really tough to fit into a world that doesn't always fit us.
Of course. And you see, Ryan, like I would like to tell you something. I mean, as so far, like where we're going with this. I mean, by far, you seem to be, a very, very honest person and say what's real, and I admire you for that.
Thanks, because I feel like I need to get my voice out there to be heard.
Of course, of course. I mean, I definitely respect that, Ryan. So let's talk to a different subject. Autism out of the way. I mean, well, one more thing with that kind of thing. I see how you interact with other people who are in the spectrum or who are like in like the spectrum of disabilities. Like for instance, you're with two twin brothers. It seemed like you really had a very great connection with them.
Oh, are you talking about Zach and Kristen Calderon?
Yes.
Oh yeah, they're very nice. Like Zach, he speaks to it. He's very fun. He has a thing for elephants.
Mm-hmm.
And Kristen, the other one, he doesn't speak at all, but he's still very loving.
I mean, you see, things like that. I mean, that kind of touched my heart right there. Like it kind of reminds me, connecting with other people who are, like in the spectrum or like severely out of the spectrum, and regardless of that, we still have connections with these guys, even to those that are nonverbal. I mean, it's a great feeling.
Hmm. Yeah, and let's talk about you. Like you really went through a lot to be a barber, right?
Of course,
Yeah, you went to barber school. How long did it take you to finish barber school?
9 months, 1,500 hours.
Yeah, I definitely like to see you tell someone that's trying to be a barber, this isn't something you learn overnight.
No, of course not. It takes hard work and dedication and passion.
Also, CJ, my counselor says I have this impulsive desire to befriend everyone I meet. Most people see it as a bad thing, but I see it as not being afraid to put yourself out there.
There you go. That's good. Oh, like that just kind of reminds me of like let me get to this thing. Like, well, with me personally, with you, I mean, I appreciate of where you're coming from because you're 100% honest. We have something kind of like, we are very honest people.
Hmm.
It's just the thing is that Ryan is that what I was trying to tell you is that it kind of is unfortunate that some people can't handle the truth.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, that's one of my best friends, Zach, saying, "Hey, Zach, me and CJ are talking about our perspective on autism and for Autism Awareness Month. Like, Zach is one of my best friends. Like, he's a cop.
Mm,
Say hi to him,
cool.
CJ." Yeah. So anyway, where were we? Did you ask a question?
No, I mean, I was asking about, like some people can't handle the truth pretty
Oh yeah,
much.
and some people just aren't the problem-facing type. There was this one time that I made a new friend, but I didn't realize that I said something that made him uncomfortable, and then he just wouldn't talk to me for some reason. And his one of his friends said, saying that he just doesn't know how to face me because he didn't want to hurt my feelings. You see that some people just don't want to face it because they're just too afraid.
Yeah, I can say that. There are some people that are not afraid. I mean, what's crazy about it is that I'm beginning to know a lot of people, well, even in the barbering industry, are not afraid of the truth. They want to know the truth. They want to know what's up. Otherwise, they're gonna have a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. Would you rather someone tell you the truth and themselves than hear it from someone else?
well, that's